agenda items. We dealt with them last week in our meeting. So, honorable members, before we start with our agenda items, may we please observe a moment of silence, prayer and meditation in remembering those South Africans and our colleagues who passed on due to this COVID-19. Thank you very much. May their souls rest in peace. Honorable members, we are requested that whenever we are participating, if you don't have any problem with your network connection, we are requested to open our videos because this meeting is live streamed. Just to remind you, honorable members, that you must, when you speak, you must switch on your camera as well. So I'm sure we all have the agenda in front of us. And before that, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the class of 2020 who made it through that difficult time of the pandemic, and also the difficulties of not accessing the internet and network. So some of them couldn't be able to study online. They had to struggle. Anyway, we wish them all the best in their future, and those who didn't make it, it's not the end of the road. They still have an opportunity to rewrite in May. So with those few words, honorable members, I declare this meeting open. Do we have the agenda in front of us? I'm sure all the documents were circulated to all of us. Thank you very much. Can we now move on to, are there apologies, but we don't have that item in the subcommittee, the item of apologies. We don't have it, but for the sake of being honorable, do we have any apologies?
Thank you, Chief Whip. Yes, it's Perrin. Yes, we have an apology from the Chief Whip. I think she would have liked to attend, although she's not a member. And then Dr. Mulder, who also registered his apology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Perrin. Those are the apologies. Can we quickly now move on to
Sorry, Deputy Chief Whip, my hand is up.
I'm sorry, Honorable Masoni.
My apologies for interrupting. Deputy Chief Whip, I'm afraid I'm sitting in an odd place in Parliament and my network isn't secure, so I'm going to keep my camera off just in case. But could you please give in the apology for Mr. Jordan Hill-Lewis, who is unable to join us today?
Okay, thank you very much. The apology of Hill-Lewis is noted. Can we now move on to the next item, the draft of the 5th of February, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. We're dealing with corrections of the minutes, so those who were part of the meeting. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. And the last page. Thank you very much. Those are the minutes. Is there a mover for the adoption of the minutes?
Honourable Deputy Chief Whip, Natasha would like to move for the adoption of the minutes.
Honorable Natasha Mazzoni is moving. Is there a seconder for the minutes? Honorable members? Honorable members who were in the meeting, Honorable Koronov seconds. Thank you very much. Are there matters arising from the minutes, honorable members? The matter that is arising from the minutes is that one of the issue of outstanding responses, which we are referring back to the speaker to place it on the agenda of the Rules Committee so that it can be referred to the subcommittee to deal with. Thank you very much. Can we now move on to item number 3? Item number 3.
Thank you, Chairperson. It's Mr. Handik there. Yeah, I could just introduce the item.
Yes.
Could I ask that the draft rules be shown on the screen, please? I think just wait for that. There we go. Thanks so much. So I would just like to present this issue. In the previous meeting, the subcommittee discussed the challenges raised concerning the Chief Whip's forum, specifically the composition and attendance. This issue was referred to the subcommittee by the speaker. During the meeting, members expressed a number of principles on the matter, although not all members agreed in each case. So there was a proposal that the relevant rules be amended. That's Rule 257 on composition of the Chief Whip forum. To provide, firstly, that the rules facilitate consistent attendance, although given the mandate of the forum, also limit the number of members who may attend any one meeting. The second view was that key office bearers should be on the forum, including the councillors to the president and the deputy president. And you'll see they have been included there, 2571C. And lastly, there was a view, and I think there was consensus about this, that provision be made that all parties be represented. So you'll see there on E, the most senior whip, that has been now removed because not all parties have whips. And what the inclusion there is one member from each of the other parties represented in the assembly. And so just to clarify, the legal services have identified a few technical corrections to the draft that you see in front of you, just to conform with legal practice. So in terms of the way amendments to a bill might be reflected. So just to give a quick example, the first line there, the Chief Whip's forum consists of, they've suggested that we remove the following persons only. So these are technical things which we can just correct, which don't change the substance of the proposals in any way. So yeah, thank you, Chair. Those are then the draft rules that we're suggesting based on the views of the member. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Perrin, for that presentation. Honorable members, I think he represented our discussion in that meeting. Honorable Korenov. Honorable Korenov.
Chairperson, thank you for the presentation. We did discuss it in the previous meeting. This is a fair reflection of what we discussed, and I formally propose that we accept and adopt the proposal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Korenov. Honorable Korenov moves that we adopt the draft rule as is. Is there a seconder for that? Honorable Natasha Mazzoni.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chief Whip. I agree completely with Dr. Koenhoff, and I would like to second the proposal that we adopt the amendments.
Thank you very much, Honorable Natasha. The draft rule is therefore accepted and approved by this subcommittee. Can we now move on to the next draft rule? Perrin, can you take us through that one? Questions to the Deputy President.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Again, could we have the previous document there? Unfortunately, it's sort of split on the page there, but so this is the issue of the rule amendments to questions to the Deputy President. And there was a concern raised at the last meeting, and I think it comes from previous engagements, that there was a concern that the provision in the current rules that the Deputy President answer questions once per month during session created some confusion and didn't facilitate planning. So the proposal was that the rule be amended so that the Deputy President answer questions every quarter. Now this is the same arrangement that is made then for the President. So that then is what the rules, these proposals now set out. And again, the underlying text is what's being inserted, and the bold bracketed text is what's being omitted. So I know that members have different views, but this is what we were asked to draft. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Perrin, for that presentation. Indeed, this is what we discussed last week in our meeting, and we requested the NA table to go and draft the rule. Honorable members, are there takers on this matter? Honorable Korinov.
Chairperson, again, this is a matter we discussed previously. I think everybody, all members of this committee had the chance to review and to think about it. And it's quite clear, and I think it makes, it's a sensible amendment. So therefore, I again propose that we formally adopt this new rule. Thank you.
Is there anyone who has a different view from what we agreed upon? Honorable Mazzoni.
Honourable Chair, thank you for the opportunity. Honourable Chair, obviously, I mean, it's well known that I'm one of the people that enjoys a great deal of accountability, and quite frankly, if it was up to me, there would be a lot more people coming a lot more of the time to Parliament. However, I do understand the limitations that are involved. I want to point out that although we are agreeing in principle and in concept to this particular time frame, there is nothing that stops us from requesting an urgent appearance in the House, and we can at all times always ask the Speaker to invite any member as we so request. So I don't think that we should be bogged down by forgetting that we always have the ability to call someone to Parliament if it's necessary or if it's deemed as something of national importance. And I think that we should always remember that we have the opportunity to do that when we make these rules. So I'm quite happy to second that we adopt this particular section.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mazzoni. Indeed, that is what we can do as honorable members of Parliament. So thank you very much for the support of this draft rule. This draft rule is therefore duly accepted by members of this subcommittee. Honorable members, can we now move on to the fifth item? Remember last week, those of us who were part of this subcommittee, we requested, when this matter was referred to us, we requested that the two honorable members, Member Mkalipi and the temporary chairperson, Honorable Janji, be given an opportunity to make representation they did indeed made their written representation to the subcommittee, which we really appreciate. We didn't want them to make a physical representation to the committee as if we are conducting an inquiry. So we have both documents in front of us. Is there a member who do not have the documents in front of him or her? Honorable members, we all have the documents in front of us and we went through them. So before we discuss the matter in question, I just want to bring to the attention of this subcommittee that the submissions by the members will assist the subcommittee. It is procedural correct that they be given an opportunity to make submission for the subcommittee's consideration, of which they did. The mandate of this subcommittee is to consider the principle on which the ruling given by the temporary chairperson on the 29th of July 2020 was based. In terms of the principle, the rules prescribed that presiding officers must manage proceedings and maintain order in the House, and the rules give presiding officers a measure of discretion due to the varying circumstances in the House. Presiding officers must apply the rules fairly, but must be allowed to guide the House. This is one reason specific rulings cannot be reviewed. It is established practice that presiding officers in the chamber allow some interjection, as the House is a political arena. In the House, members are able to interject without having to switch on the mics at their desks. However, on the virtual platform, a member would need to unmute his or her mic in order to speak or interject for that matter. In so doing, it drowns out the member speaking on the floor. Presiding officers, honorable members, have necessarily had to be stricter with members on the virtual platform because of the sensitivity of the microphones. To this end, they often caution members not to interject on the virtual platforms because it drowns out the member speaking. It does limit a member's ability to interject on the virtual platform during a debate, but it is necessary given the existing technology. Honorable members must also be cautious during intervals when the bells are ringing to signal either the start or the end of the House sitting, and during voting. At such times, the platform is still live and being streamed, so members speaking together can make it difficult for the presiding officer to proceed or conclude their business of the House. So I thought I should make those remarks, honorable members, so that we are all on the same path, that here we will not be dealing with individual members, but will be dealing with the principle of ruling. Honorable members, we did go through the two documents presented by Member Mkhalipi and the temporary chair, Member Janji. Can we now discuss this matter? We did discuss last week, hence we requested for them to make this representation to the subcommittee. Can I see the note? Can we have one? I don't know whether it will be yourself, Karen, or it will be Victor Ngaleka, who will take us through the documents one by one. Karen?
Uh, Thank you, Chair. I think I want to hand over to Victor, Mr. Advocate Ngaleka. I do think, though, that you have basically summarized the issues and certainly the principles involved in the matter very well. So I'm not sure, and perhaps I could get advice from Advocate Ngaleka whether we need to go through the detail of each submission, but we can be guided. Thanks so much.
Can I hear from the honorable members? How do you want us to go about this? Is there a taker? Honorable members? Honorable Mazzoni?
Thank you, Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip, I think both documents are both informative, and I'm grateful that we have both the documents. I think that upon reading both sides of the story, I'm of the opinion that the correct decision was taken in the House. I think it's a lesson that we need to learn both as members of the House and as presiding officers. I think it sets a good precedent going forward that there must be order on the platform, and I think that this week during the SONA debate, we have seen exactly how important it is for that mute function and for the technical staff to be available to the presiding officers to make sure that the mute function is functionable. I do also think that it's a very important lesson for the whips of Parliament, and I think that the whips of Parliament should receive a specific letter following this particular Rules Committee meeting about how one does keep one's members in order, and if one's members are not in order or if they are repeat offenders. And I think I don't need to mention names. I think we all know who the repeat offenders are on the virtual platform, who continuously unmute themselves and shout out on the platform. What kind of action needs to be taken? And I therefore move that we adopt both reports, and that we accept that the actions taken by the chairperson on the day, Jantjies, was in fact the correct method to handle that particular issue in the House on the day.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mazzoni. Is there another taker on this matter? I'll see by show of hands. Honorable Joseph?
Thanks, Chairperson. I apologize, man. I've been having a problem with the connectivity since 10 o'clock. I keep getting in and out. I've had to change gadgets. So I just heard now that we are discussing the matter of the removal report by the chairperson on the day, Jantjies. So I don't know where the conversation started. You'll forgive me, Chairperson, and maybe you can stop me if I'm out of order. My reading of the situation is that from the letter that I read.
Honorable Joseph?
Yes,
did you receive both the written submissions by both members?
Yes, I got all the documents, Honorable.
Okay.
So
right,
okay.
You may proceed. You may proceed.
I apologize. I'm sorry. At what stage of the discussion are we at, so that I can contribute properly? I don't want to take you back if you have passed.
Honorable Joseph, we discussed the principle of the ruling. We were not discussing individuals, but the principle of the ruling and the importance of making sure that we maintain the decorum of the House, and also that whips should always, must always make sure that their members behave in a manner that is acceptable, both in the House and also on the virtual platform. That is where we are, Honorable Josie.
Okay. That's fine. I do think that there was an overstretch on the part of the chairperson. I don't think that that situation warranted a removal of a member from the platform at all, as a matter of fact. And if I listened to the Hansard, I read the report and the application of that rule in relation to to removal, you must go, and you must always remember that members of parliament are not like cows. We may be chief whips and chairpersons. They are not cows. They enjoy all the privileges that are outlined, flowing from the constitution up to the rules, and then the virtual rules. So when you remove a person, you have to specifically warn them. If you apply that rule the way Janji applies it, you're going to enter into a lot of problems, because it was not even about the muting of the mic. It was a removal. The member was removed from the platform, not muted. There's no principle like that. So my view is very simple. You should have, if you thought that Mkalipi, her intervention at that stage, you did not agree with it, or you saw it, or you did not want to listen to it, you're supposed to specifically, directly warn Mkalipi to stop, fail of which you mute, not remove. So I think it was an overstretch, and the Rules Committee can't allow such a thing. It can't allow an overpowering of an abuse of rules by presiding officers. The crime always needs to feed, the punishment always needs to feed the crime. So that is what I think. And I want to now, give another example, because this sentiment keeps coming out. We're supposed to discuss principle and all of that, but there are people who keep insinuating that there is a group of people, we know who they are, that are always disruptive on the platform and all of that. That insinuation is not consistent with the discussion of a principle. Because, for instance, the other day, Honorable Chairperson, a chief whip of the majority had to intervene on the part of the members of the leader of the EFF, and none of us were in the house. And purely because we were on the virtual platform, the chairperson of the NCOP could not listen to us. And it took a person from the house, because there's a discrimination in the way presiding officers handle matters. If you are on the virtual platform, that if you're on the virtual platform, you are just disruptive. And I think that attitude is wrong. Even if it's whips that are raising issues, they don't listen to us.
Honorable Ndlozi,
Yes.
let me correct you on that one. I'm sorry to interrupt you. And now that you brought this to this meeting, I was also in the house. What your chief whip should have done is to alert the chief whips beforehand, before we go to the house. That's how we normally deal with matters as the Chief Whips Forum. What we do is that if there will be changes in your party, you alert the Chief Whip of the majority party, not the table staff at that time when the house is in sitting. So that is why we had no clue of what was happening. We had to interject. That's the reason. Had your chief whip follow the necessary procedure of bringing the matter to the attention of the other chief whip, who would consult other chief whips, we wouldn't have interjected. So that one is neither here nor there. You cannot, even if you are on a virtual platform, proper procedures must be followed so that the house is run smoothly. But let's move away from that and deal with the matter on hand.
No,
please, if you don't mind. No. Ndlozi, let's deal with what is in
but
front
can I
of
speak
us.
now?
Yes, speak, but stick
You
to
interrupted
what we are
me.
dealing with.
Now you're saying, no,
Yes.
don't do this, don't do that. Let me speak. You can deal with my argument.
I was calling you to order.
No,
yes,
I don't
but
agree
now
with
stick
your...
to what we are dealing with.
No, Comrade Doris, can I speak? It's
Yes,
a simple
please.
thing in deliberations in a court. Just listen to people. That's all. I listened to you. You're missing the principle again. The point I'm making is not those procedures. No, you are. Can you speak?
Honorable Ndlozi, can you please speak?
don't interrupt me then when I'm speaking, because you keep interjecting. I'm saying to you, I'm not talking about procedures. I'm talking about the right to speak on a virtual platform. People have the right to speak on a virtual platform. A chief whip of the EFF raises a point of order. They tell him he can't speak. You don't know what he's going to say. You don't know what he's going to raise a point of order on. No, merely because he's speaking from a virtual platform and raising a point of order, he is not listened to. That's the principle of speaking. That's what I'm talking about, that there is this treatment that presiding officers have on people who are on virtual platform, which creates a discrimination because we're not represented on the floor. And that I'm saying, the rules of virtual platform cannot apply differently to when we are in the house. When a person raises a point of order, we have the right to be listened to. It's simple like that. You cannot go to the rules and kill that principle. You cannot go into the house and kill it even in praxis. You have to listen to members of parliament. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. Don't be a presiding officer if you don't want to listen to people. You must have the patience to listen to them and apply the rules. You can't just cut them before you even hear what their grievance is. So, and that's what happened even with regards to the question of Comrade Kyangi. Honorable Kyangi. He did not care to listen. And we can't say that is correct. That's what I'm saying. I agree there must be order. We rain on our members all the time as well. It's just you can't see us because we're on virtual platform. We call them, we have a group and all those things. We are all trying to have order, but even if that's the case, you have to listen to the whips. You have to be able to. Hengue Mkalipi is a whip, is a duly processed whip of the EFF. The way she was treated was wrong. Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Ndlozi. Honorable Korenov.
Thank you, Chairperson. I wish the presenters can just flight the agenda again on the screen, because we are addressing a specific issue. Let us straighten the line. One, we address the principle of the case before us. There it is. Paragraph 4. Secondly, the case before us, it's a specific case. We can't go now in this meeting into a general discussion. I was present in that plenary. That is what we're discussing at the moment. I've studied, like all other members of this committee, studied the presentations from both sides. And I want to say that I fully agree with the decision that Honorable Jantjie took at that stage as a principled decision of the case before us. So I move for the adoption of this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Korenov. Honorable Numalo.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to honorable members and the other colleagues. Chair, I just want to begin by saying that I've also read the Hansard, and you will know that from my own background, whether political or otherwise, the maintenance of the order of the house is very paramount for us. But I also, when you look at the application and the decision that was taken by the presiding officer that day, I'm not sure whether the proper procedure of the application of removing a member was applied. Because I think if we are going to discuss the merits of that particular action from the presiding chairperson, I absolutely do not think that at that particular time, that was the correct decision that was taken. So I just wanted to say that in principle, I do agree that there must be order, there must be all that, the decorum of the house must be applied to and etc. But on that particular action taken by the chair presiding that particular meeting, it was incorrect in my own view. Thank you, Chair. That is my submission.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Indeed, in this subcommittee, we process issues. We will agree and we will not agree on some of the issues. But the fact remains that it is an established practice that presiding officers in the chamber allow interjection, as the House is a political arena. In the House, it is allowed. In the House, members are able to interject without having to switch on their mics at their desks. That is allowed. However, on the virtual platform, a member would need to unmute his mic or her mic in order to speak or interject for that matter. In so doing, it drowns out the member speaking on the floor. So presiding officers have necessarily had to be stricter with members on the virtual platform because of the sensitivity of the microphones. Why am I going back to this issue, honorable members? Is that even yesterday, when the president was speaking, someone's mic was on and it was disturbing in the House in such a way that you don't even hear what the president was saying at that time. So, serving in this committee, honorable members, yes, we are from different political parties, but the principle should be that let us be focused and also make sure that whatever we are discussing shouldn't be seen as attacking one's party or the other. Let's deal with the facts before us and the principle. And what is it that we want to see as members of parliament happen in that house, instead of us being disorderly? When people on the virtual platform start talking from all sides, it's difficult to hear who is saying what. So as I'm wrapping up on this matter, honorable members, thank you. I believe that your views, the views of those who support this will be captured as such, and those who do not support the adoption of this principle, then it will be captured as such. In that, in those few words, honorable members, I would like us to move from this. It will be taken to the Rules Committee for a decision. Can we now, honorable members, move to the next item, which is the way forward? Honorable members, thank you very much for your participation and also your attendance in this meeting. So the way forward would be that those issues that are referred are taken back to the Rules Committee. They will be processed there in the Rules Committee. If the Rules Committee feels that we need to further process the issues, they will be referred back to us in this subcommittee. Honorable members, without any item on the agenda, I want to thank you all for your participation in the meeting. The meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you.